for me in one go. But I shall give it a go. I'm live here. I'm live over there. And I shall just drink my coffee for a bit and see if that wakes me up. Apologies, Instagram wise. My screen is far too far away from me now, so I can see somebody said something. Let's go and have a quick peek. I'll just sneak on over. Oh, morning, Kev. How are you? That's nice to hear from you. You're going to come and do some yoga with me this morning? Oh, amazing. Oh, this is why all this internet malarkey is quite good fun. Okay, hello, and we've got someone on YouTube as well. Fab. So for my YouTube famalam, I am attempting to film this at the same time on Insta Live. So we're going to see how that works out. I'm not too sure which will have the best quality. I think the sound might be better on YouTube, just for anyone on Instagram who is struggling to hear me. I will try and be louder than usual. Click that over there. So I hope you're well this morning. It's Friday, isn't it? It's actually Friday. That's all right, isn't it? So yeah, if you are still trying to work at home, hope you're doing okay. I am certainly feeling it in my back and my neck this week working at home, and my brain. So I've been doing a lot of work focusing on the back. But I'm just going to give us a gentle little all over stretch this morning, really. As I say, normally I'm about 20 minutes or so. We shall see. I see what happens when I start, really. Okay, fab. So I'll stop drinking coffee, I promise, and we'll do some yoga. So if you've got your yoga mat out, that's fab. If you're just somewhere sat down, somewhere comfy and quiet, that's good too. If you did have a cushion or something to sit on to make this a bit more comfortable, then do. If seated pose is a little bit much, I know it can be, especially first thing in the morning. But I just want you to come into a seated pose that suits you and sit up nice and tall for me. So sitting up nice and tall, we're just going to focus on that breath going all the way down to the belly. So as you breathe in, feel your belly expand and lift. And as you breathe out, just allow the body to relax down. We'll do that one more time. So big breath in, feel the belly expand. And a big breath out. Allow the body to relax. And we're just going to take 3 breaths to tune in from there. So if we bring the hands down to the sides, take a nice big breath in and lift all the way up, nice and tall. Easy exhale out the mouth. We bring the hands down to the chest. I just want you to plug the thumbs into the heartbeat and just see if you can find a nice, easy rhythm. And we'll do the same thing 2 more times. So a big inhale lifts you up. And that easy exhale softens you back down. And one last time. Big inhale. Easy exhale. And while you have the thumbs on your heartbeat, it's a good time just to scan through the body and just notice how it feels today. That could just be the temperature of your skin. It might be any niggles anywhere. Then I just want you to draw that attention towards your breath without changing it too much. Just noticing if it's high in the chest, maybe a little lower in the belly, if it feels quick or slow. And finally, the mind. Just want you to notice how you feel right this moment. I'm not trying to judge that feeling in any way. It's just about noticing it. Whenever you feel ready to, we'll start to bring the hands down. Excuse my tickle going on. Okay. And then wait to sit up nice and tall. And we're just going to start with some stretches through the neck and then in towards the back a little bit. So nice and tall for me. Take a big inhale, turn your head all the way over to the right, just to stretch into the neck. And then exhaling all the way over to the other side. Trying to take the stretch as deeply as you can. Big inhale takes you back. It's breathing down into the belly. And that exhale softens you over again. Just going for those nice and slow. If you feel happy to, closing the eyes just helps us focus on the breath. On your next inhale over to the right, we'll then exhale the head down into that semicircle position. So you relax it all the way down, start to look in between the legs, relax the neck and shoulders, and then easing up to the other side. So it's that big U shape. Just follow your nose all the way down. Once you're down, if it feels good, relax those shoulders, relax the back, get that deeper stretch. And again, ease it all the way up. One more of those for me. And again, center up whenever you feel ready. Good. From that position, we'll just take a little twist for the back. So if you can, wait to bring your hands down to the ground, just so you can lift your bum up just a touch and then come back down again. If that doesn't feel so good, place your hands on your shins, stick your chest out, and just get that stretch down the back. So I want you to take your right hand onto your left knee for me. Tuck the other hand behind your waist or just on the floor. Take a big inhale to the lift, and then as you exhale, we're twisting across and looking behind us. That already made my back click. Amazing. So take a nice big inhale, see if you can twist a little deeper. And then exhale to the front. Good. Same thing for the other side. So we cross it over. Big inhale to lift and then twist. Take a big breath in, see if you can twist a little deeper. And exhale to the front. Good. We'll move in towards the waist a little bit. So bring your right hand down. Inhale the left hand nice and high. And then as you exhale, see if you can soften over to your side. So if this feels too much in the hips or the bum or the leg, just take both knees over in the same direction and then get the stretch from there. So we start by just bringing the arm overhead and getting the stretch. And then if you feel happy to sweep the arm forward, bring the head down, and then start to get that stretch in towards your back and in towards your shoulder. So really relax the head there. Take some big deep breaths. We can start to think about opening up from there. So I'm going to roll my chest, look up to the ceiling, and send my arm behind. So it's just opening up the shoulder. See how it feels. Good. And you can take this stretch wherever you need to today. If all of it feels pretty rank, pretty tight, then just keep moving around. If you find a particular spot that, like for me, just here today feels pretty tight, I'm just going to take a few extra breaths there. Whenever you feel ready for the other side, take a nice big inhale to lift up, switch the legs over, and then exhale down. Same thing here. If this doesn't feel so comfy for you, bring the knees over, point my trolleys up, and then get the stretch from there. Same thing as before, we can lean forward, bring the head down, kind of ease into it, relax into it. Or we can start to open out, look up towards the ceiling and get that stretch there. Getting all the clicks and clunks out of my shoulders. Whenever you feel ready to, I want you to inhale to lift all the way up. Come back to a seated pose if you can. Lift those hands up nice and high. And then as you exhale, gently forward fold down. So you can shift your bum here, get a little bit more comfortable. Either just cross the arms over your chest and rest the head down. Or if you have got a little bit more wiggle room, we're going to bring the hands down towards the ground and soften the body down. We'll take 3 big deep breaths here. So on your inhale, we lift the chest. And then as you exhale, we're just trying to soften down. 2 more the same. So inhale, make that space, lift up. Exhale, ease into it. And one more. On that next inhale, slowly start to lift your chest, walk the hands in, send them behind you, and just so you can lean back and bring the feet out in front. Okay, so we're going to just stretch the hips a little bit more. So in this position, using your brain just a little bit, I want you to take one foot into your opposite hand. So you're going to bring up your foot and hold onto it with your opposite hand. Doesn't matter which one, because we've only got, two. So we'll do one and then the other. And then from that position, just wiggle yourself so you're bringing that foot towards you. Rather than the foot coming down, we're trying to think about lifting that shin to get the stretch in the hip. If you do find you've got a nice bent elbow here, you're going to see if you can grab that foot, tuck it in your elbow. And then this is called rock the baby. We're just going to have a little rock side to side. If it feels too tight coming all the way into that elbow crease, you're just going to hold on to it wherever you can, and you're going to rock it from there. If you do have a little bit more wiggle room, if you can move it a bit more, take your free hand, bring it behind you, and then just lean backwards a little bit and give it a little bit of a hug. If anyone felt so inclined to put their foot over their head, feel free. I think I'll give it a miss today. Give it a bit of a squeeze and then release, and we'll go on to that other side. So the other side is normally a bit tighter because you didn't want to do it first. So just ease it up, see how it feels. If you can get that elbow crease, we're going to tuck it in. This is definitely my tighter leg always, and then hug it towards you. My free foot does tend to have its own little party when I do this. I have no control over that. Good. Give it a little squeeze, maybe lean backwards. Good. And then release. Give your legs a little bit of a shake. If you're like me, just have a little swig of your coffee. And then, and then we'll just go into a little mini flow just to wake up. Hopefully you're all good over there. I can sort of see that there's some people around, but I can't see what you're saying. I'll just say hello. Okay. So into a box pose for me. So I want you to take knees directly under your hips and then hands underneath the shoulders. We want that nice flat back in that position. So you should be able to run a hand down your back and it feels nice and strong. Give your tummy a little squeeze if it feels like it just needs flattening out. Elbows tucked in for me. And then from that position, look forward. I want you to inhale, lift your head and your bum nice and high. Bring your belly low as you look up. This is your cow. And then exhale, curl the spine into cat. So I'm looking all the way in between my legs. It's a bit of a cat looking like it's going to be sick pose. That's what we're going for. So big stretch in the shoulders. Take an inhale to lift up. Push the hands down as you come into cow. Stick your bum in the air. And exhale, curl it all the way around again. Good. One more just the same. So big inhale lifts you up. And then exhale, we curl it around. Good. In that cat pose, looking between your legs, slowly bring your bum down to your feet. So I'm coming down towards child's pose. If you wanted to, maybe see if you can lengthen your hands a little further away. Bring the head down. If you need to, if you've had your breakfast this morning, take your knees out a little bit wider just to give your belly and chest a bit more room. From there, we're going to come all the way back up through box pose and then find your cow pose again. So we're just rolling through those poses. And we'll do that one more time. So I curl the spine into cat, look between my legs, slowly come down, soften the elbows down, and then on my inhale, I lift up and roll it back through to that cow pose. Good. Find a neutral spine for me. Let's come up for a little down dog action. Just stretch those legs. So move the hands just slightly further away, curl the toes, and then take that big inhale to lift up. Bums nice and high, heels off the ground, ears about parallel with the arms, and we're just going to walk on the spot. So we're just stretching the back of the legs. See how they feel. It is the morning, so probably tight for most. If you feel happy to, I want you to try and take your feet out to the width of your mat, or just a little bit wider if you're not on a mat. And then the same thing, bend your knees here, kind of doing a very exaggerated walk on the spot. I don't think anyone walks like this, maybe not. Good. Bring your feet a little closer together for me, and we'll just take some down dogs to up dogs. The first one we'll take nice and slow. Take an inhale, lift up to your tiptoes, roll the body forward into planks. Like a big old wave, we roll it forward. Soften your knees down to the ground, uncurl your toes, and then lean forward with those hips, keeping the chest high, and have a little wiggle once you get there. So it's just a gentle little back bend. Good. Maybe looking over the shoulder. So if I was to lean my bum to the left, I'd look over my right shoulder. If I was to lean to the right, I'd look over my left shoulder. Good. Coming back to down dog for me. So curl the toes, lean back to your knees. Big push all the way up. Good. Pedal those feet. And we'll just do that 2 more times. So big inhale, lift up to the tiptoes, roll forward into plank. If you've got a little bit more in you, I want you to keep the legs straight and bring the hips straight down and have your little up dog where you're just having a little sway there. Still on the toes. If that feels too much, drop those knees, release the toes, have a little rock. Good. Coming back to down dog. So if we can, curl those toes and just take a big push all the way back. If you need to run through the knees, run through the knees. One more time for me. So big inhale, lift up, roll it forward. Exhale, lower down. I made both my shoulders click. That was amazing. Release the feet if that's more comfortable. Have that little rock for me. Okay. From this pose, we're coming back to child's pose. So I inhale, lift up to my knees, and then exhale myself back. If it feels more comfortable, do take your knees out wide, keep your feet together, and then try, and if you can, bring your chest and your chin down. If that feels too tight, then pop a pillow in front of you and relax on that, or focus on trying to bring the forehead down. We're just going to stretch into the sides just a little bit more before we finish up. So in this position, I want you to lift your head and then walk both hands over to the left for me. So I'm going to walk them off my mat just over towards the left, and then try and bring my head down and stretch down my side. You're going to feel this sort of in your armpit, down your side. I want you to inhale, lift the chest, slowly walk back over, and then all the way over to the right this time. Good. Bring it down. We can come back towards the center. And then I want you to try and come up onto your knees. So we can start by bringing the knees together. Walk your hands in towards you. So we're coming back onto those knees. So if you're on a mat, you'll probably find you should be at the back of your mat or just wherever you found yourself, basically. We're going to take just a little bit of a twist to finish off there. If you wanted to, you could try and curl your toes here and lean back. So that's going to give you a big old stretch in your feet. It's probably my least favorite stretch because it is quite a tight area for me, but it is a good stretch to do. So if you wanted to, you can be here. If you're feeling like because it's Friday, you don't want to, then just keep them down for me. Sitting up nice and tall, I want you to take a big inhale, lift both hands up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, we're going to twist towards the right, bringing the left hand to the outside of that right leg. And your right hand is going to grab anything that's nearby, or it's going to wrap around your waist. So if you happen to be near something you can just hold on to, so I've kind of got a little, don't we call it, cabinety thing there. I'm going to hold on to it just to get that twist. Or just let the hand relax, or tuck it around your waist. Just onto the other side. So big inhale, lift up nice and tall, and then exhale, twist over to the left. So again, I'm just going to wrap my hands around my body. My hand goes to the outside, excuse me, of my leg. I want you to start one more time each way for me. So big inhale, lift up. If you want to take it a bit more, lift up towards the knees. And then exhale, twist. So we come back down onto the bottom. Last time, big inhale, lift up. Exhale, twist. Good. Gently come back towards the middle. Have a little wiggle round if you need it. And then we're just going to finish with our breaths to tune out. So bring yourself onto the side of your bottom and then come back round and just find a seated pose for me. I promise that was a floorboard, that wasn't a bone. That sounded terrible. Okay, so nice and comfy for me, sitting up nice and tall. We'll bring the hands down to the sides, taking that big breath in to lift all the way up. Easy exhale out the mouth. Brings the hands down to the chest. Just plugging the thumbs into the heartbeat. Finding that rhythm. 2 more times, just the same. Big inhale lifts you up. Easy exhale softens you back down. One last time. Big inhale. Easy exhale. And while we have the thumbs on the heartbeat, it's that good time again just to scan through the body and just notice how it feels. We can then draw that attention towards the breath without changing it too much, just noticing how it feels in the body. And finally, the mind. I just want you to notice how you feel right this moment. Croaky. And namaste. Thank you very much for joining me. I think I've got some people over on Instagram. I shall attempt to go and have a look in a minute. But I will be back next week. Tuesday night will be the next live at 7. And I'm going to do some recording this weekend. So if there's anything you'd like me to record this weekend, then let me know. That would help me out. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a really lovely Friday. My YouTube gang, I hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, I shall see you really soon. Have a really lovely day / weekend. Bye. I'm going to come over there and I'm going to come turn you off now.